Olá meus pequenas abóboras, eu sou o Espero, sejam bem-vindos a mais um vídeo de Genshin no nosso caloroso arco de Natlan. E bem, se você não assistiu nenhum dos episódios anteriores, já quero que você clique no cardzinho que tá aparecendo aqui no canto direito e vai lá assistir e depois volta aqui pra ver esse vídeo. E bem, hoje nós vamos finalmente estar iniciando a quest do Kinichi. Bem, devo dizer que o novo sistema de Natlan é um pouquinho confuso, porque só depois de fazer a primeira parte dela eu fui entender que na realidade a quest do Kinichi é meio que parcelada pelos 3 atos. Então, bem, eu vou estar fazendo ela com vocês. E se você não é inscrito aqui no canal, aproveita e se inscreve e ativa o sininho. Deixa o like e um comentário, porque isso ajuda muito. E compartilha com alguém que você tem certeza que vai adorar nosso conteúdo. E bem, sem mais delongas, bora pro vídeo. E bem, cá estamos nós, na nossa querida Vila das Copas. Eu esqueço o nome disso daqui, gente. Descendente das Copas. Estamos na tribo dos descendentes das copas e como vocês podem ver, já estamos aqui com o nosso queridíssimo Kinichi e até mesmo com a minha assinatura dele. Tá achando que a gente tá de brincadeira? No último vídeo a gente pegou o Kinichi, né, nos giros atrasados, como sempre, nossa querida sériezinha de pegando personagens, buildando eles e testando. O Kinichi nesse momento não está totalmente buildado, vocês provavelmente só vão ver ele buildado no vídeo anterior, porque eu tô gravando esse antes de finalizar o vídeo de girando pelo Kinichi. Mas bem, sem mais delongas, bora aqui dar uma olhada e começar a fazer as missões, né? Bem, Akla. Olá, como posso te ajudar? Vamos começar aqui fazendo aqui a segunda missão. Na real, não sei porque eu tô vindo nela, eu posso só vir aqui e fazer. E bem, essa é a segunda parte. Na primeira parte da missão a gente basicamente conhece 2 crianças que estão pedindo ajuda e basicamente a gente recolhe os 3 filhotes de dinossauro verde que elas queriam e a gente dá de cara com a Enjou no meio dessa quest. E vamos conseguir a segunda parte, inclusive era essa criança, não era? Elas também foram enganadas por um cara bem suspeito que eu devo dizer que eu lembro dele de algum lugar, não sei o certo da onde. Suspeito eu que ele é aquele carinha lá de economia. Enfim, vamos lá.
Huni, what were you thinking going out by yourself? Don't you know how dangerous it is?
Ela sabe.
Okay, Toba helped me, and we met some kind strangers who helped us.
Estranhas, você tem nome.
Kind strangers? What made you so sure they were so kind, huh? Oh, I suppose they had kind stranger written on their foreheads?
Yeah, actually, they did, in big, bold letters.
Don't talk back to me. The Mountain King problem still hasn't been solved. What would I do if I lost you too? No dinner for you tonight.
Claro, o que eu faria se eu perdesse você? Não vai comer hoje, vai passar fome até morrer. Gênio, cara, nossa. Agora vamos jogar na tua cara que a gente era gente boa, seu escroto. Eu vou deserdar essa criança de você e vou tomar pra mim, porque você parece não ser um bom parente.
It's Miss Paimon and Miss Traveler. Dad, it's them. They're the ones who helped me. And I promised we'd take care of them if they came to visit.
Oh, so you're the kind strangers. Well, I'm Trinidad. Apparently you helped my daughter today, so if there's anything you need, just ask. As an elder of the Scions of the Canopy, I've got some influence around here. Now, I trust that you're sensible people who know better than to take advantage of their host's generosity.
Já que você é ancião, você sabe quantos metros tem daqui até o chão, né? E se eu te arremessar lá embaixo? Claro, tudo que pedimos é 1 milhão de mora.
1 million mora. At least you're a straight shooter. I can respect that much.
Dad, please. They're not bad people. They've eaten at the same table with Kinichi before. Be nice to them.
Kinichi? Wait. I heard that 2 mysterious travelers from afar
De
showed up at the
repente
Stadium of the
você não
Sacred Flame.
conhece.
Are they you?
Sim, sou eu mesmo.
And Paimon's the other.
I do apologize. A lot's been going on in our tribe lately, and I suppose the pressure must be getting to me. I can't believe I was so rude to you. I feel ashamed. We got off on the wrong foot. Can we, start over?
Oh, now we're talking. Seriously, though, don't worry about it. Already forgotten. We're just happy to see Huni got home safe and sound.
Oh, you just arrived, I take it, and it would be my honor to give you a hero's welcome tonight.
Que fofo.
Careful now. That's quite an about face. We've heard that kind of thing can lead to spontaneous spontaneous combustion around these parts.
Economize tratamento VIP. Se precisar de favor, vamos conversar.
My dear traveler, you are very perceptive indeed. Go inside now, Huni. Dad's got some important...
Okay. Look after Miss Traveler and Miss Paimon. They're very special guests.
Oh, obrigado, Runi.
Well, we'll hear you out, but we can't make any promises that we'll be able to help.
Well, this is a matter of utmost importance. Please, for many years, our tribe has celebrated the Turnfire Night. It is a traditional ceremony among the scions of the canopy in which we remember our ancestor, Burkina, and his companion, Kangamato, the Mountain King. Burkina was a hero who bore the ancient name Malipo, and Kangamato was a powerful Yumkasor warrior. Together, they fought against the Abyss. They were victorious, but it came at a great cost. Burkina paid with his life. The Mountain King survived, but was contaminated by the Abyss, and he remains in hibernation to this day. Normally, Yumkasors never live longer than a century. It is possible that the abyssal power is responsible for his unnaturally long lifespan.
Então, espera, ele tá vivo ainda? Eu lutei com ele.
The Mountain King is a living symbol of our glory, but even this glory comes at a price. The abyssal power inside him is highly sensitive, and when it is disturbed, he awakens and flies into a blind rage, attacking anything that moves. So, besides the ceremony, another important part of Turnfire Night each year is cleansing the abyssal power inside the Mountain King, so that however abyss-related incidents have been on the rise in that land lately, as I'm sure you're both aware. As a result, it has become increasingly difficult to keep the Mountain King in hibernation. Only 5 months have passed since the last Turnfire Night, and he's already showing signs of instability.
Has he woken up again?
He has. We managed to contain the situation by performing a makeshift ceremony right away, but it was a close call. He could reawaken at any moment. Also, he attacked and wounded my companion, Nana, during the ceremony. She became contaminated by the Abyss as a result, and...
We heard. Such a tragedy. We're really sorry for your lot.
Yes, and Nana wasn't the first. Anyway, right now we're preparing for an exceptional Turnfire Night ceremony, and we need to find a suitable flame bearer. From what I've heard about your adventures, I believe you would be perfect for the role.
Você já não tem um portador da chama na tribo?
Of course. Plus, he's a bona fide hero who inherited the Malipo name.
Oh, you mean Kinichi?
Porque não deixa ele fazer a cerimônia como sempre.
Yes, he's the one. A hero, worth his weight in gold. And unfortunately for us, he's all too aware of that. No prizes for guessing what he said when I asked him to host a Turnfire Night outside of the annual schedule. An exceptional ceremony? Oh, I'll have to charge an exceptional price. I swear, no other concept exists in
Ele não
that
tá
boy's brain.
errado. Pelo menos ele é previsível. Paga, mora e ele é todo seu.
I'm not the one to usually talk about people behind their backs, but I'm convinced the Wyab got hit on the head and took a wrong turn the day it chose to give that ancient name to him. I mean, have you ever heard of a hero whose mantra is, "What's your asking price?"
Herói justo.
Oh, and don't get me started on that insufferable Ahau he hangs around with. Thinks he's God's gift to mankind. Pompous fool.
Yeah, Paimon has to agree on that last part.
Anyway, the fact is, the ceremony can just as easily be done without him as long as we can find someone else. And besides, you two seem like much better candidates. So, what do you think?
Por que não tento falar com Kinichi por você?
There's only a few days left before the ceremony. We can't afford to waste what little time we have on negotiating with him. Now, I much prefer if you would consider taking his place.
Tudo bem, acho que não tem escolha. Tem escolha sim, eu não vou tomar o lugar dele na tocha. A caixa é dele.
You have kindness in your hearts. Come with me to the other side of the mountain. I'll bring you up to speed on each step of the ceremony. As experienced warriors, I'm sure you'll pick it up in no time.
Ritual de um herói. Aberto. Socorro. Enquanto isso, numa caverna escondida... Como assim numa caverna escondida? Kinichi e a Hal estão conversando. Ou é aquele carinha que a gente viu? Vocês me digam aí, quem já fez a quest de encanomia, me disse se não é ele. Tenho quase certeza que é aquele cara que virou um carinha de fogo.
Achoo! Curses! Who dares insult the great Kahula How behind his back?
Oh, great
Não é
Kahula
ele.
How! Bless you!
E... Você tá se fazendo muito, né?
Shut your filthy mouth, worm of the abyss! Your putrid words defile the air we breathe. You make the almighty Dragon Lord, Kahula How, sick to the stomach.
Speaking as a member of the Abyss Order, that's music to my ears. Exactly the kind of reaction we're going for. But on a
Não tô falando que esse cara... É o cara mesmo. Esse já anunciou já.
Never have we heard such brazen blustering from someone who is inches from death. Up yours, Four Eyes! We spit in your face!
Okay, well, that I am at a loss to explain. How do I manage to stay so chirpy and cheerful? I can only guess it's some kind of powerful magic. But I digress. Mr. Kinichi, I admit it, you, sir, are a legendary hunter. Still, the only reason you caught me is that I was
Os
reluctant
borboletinhos
to
em
run
volta
away.
dele, que lindo.
You see, I'm very interested in the lore of your tribe.
Ok. Ok.
Is that it? Kay? Aren't you intrigued to know what it is about you guys that prompted a visit from the Abyss? It's the extreme sports! The other day, I narrowly avoided getting hit by a very brave soul who just leaped off a cliff. I think you call it bungee jumping? Anyway, I was very impressed. That is what I call embracing the spirit of adventure.
Eu tenho cara de palhaço, né?
Look, I even did a painting inspired by the bravery and freedom of the scions of the canopy.
You scum-sucking swine! I swear, if you go bungee jumping, it'll be without a
Calma,
rope.
Hal.
Head first off the tallest cliff with a band of hunters on your tail and nowhere left to run, and a bottomless cesspit waiting for you on the ground.
You say that, but I get the sense that Mr. Kinichi isn't planning to take my life right now. On top of that, I'm tired of spying on you from afar. So why don't we just negotiate a comfortable
próprio
operating
Kinichi talvez
distance that works for
aceite.
both of us? I've heard that the most important thing in human relationships is to respect each other's boundaries.
Que fofo.
What do you say?
Or you could tell me what it is you're really after.
What?
And then I'll name my price.
Kinichi, você vai trabalhar com ele?
The abyss contamination is back. See those torches over there? Those are the Sacred Flame offshoots that we requested from the Stadium of the Sacred Flame. They contain the power of the Pyro Archon.
Ela ainda tá dando poder pra
Are you
vocês,
saying
gente?
that the sacred flame and the turnfire are the...
Well, for ceremonial purposes, at least. Sending someone to the Night Kingdom to retrieve the legendary Turnfire isn't exactly an option. More to the point, though, the Sacred Flame is able to burn away abyssal filth, so that's why we use it in...
Gotcha! So basically, we just need to clean up the filth with the sacred flame.
Well, that's one part of it,
Yeah.
yes. But first, the flame bearer must collect a kindling of the sacred flame from the starting point, then use a grappling hook to fly up into the sky and light each of the sacred flame pillars. Then they must go down into the canyon, all the way into the cave where the Mountain King slumbers, lighting braziers. And the most skilled flame bearers can accomplish all of this without touching the ground once. As much as I hate to admit it, Kinichi is capable of...
Wow! He can do all that flying without ever falling to the ground?
É o Kinichi. Você também, pai,
Of
né?
course Paimon can. It'd be much harder for you guys.
Well, don't worry. It's not a requirement of the ceremony. You're allowed to touch the ground. The only thing you're not allowed to do is turn back. The flame bearer must always keep moving forward. You can't skip a pillar, then come back to it after lighting the next one. To do so would...
So, what actually happens if you do turn back? Surely the fires don't...
Well, if you're not careful, you might get burned.
What about today, then? Does this...
Oh, no. Don't worry. Today is just a practice. The order doesn't matter. You just need to take... Are you ready?
Nasci
I'll
pronto.
repeat all the key points again.
Tá bom. Eu preciso. Eu não vou.
Let's use this kindling to complete our mission. There's abyssal filth over there. Let's burn it away with the sacred flame.
Dá pra jogar com Kinichi, gostei. Oh meu Deus, calma. Ele acendeu? Ok, ele só acendeu.
You really are a one-trick pony, you know.
A gente só precisa isso. Ok. Bom, deixa eu pegar outra aqui. Ô jogo. Meu Deus, calma, eu tô indo muito longe. Pega isso. Pronto, agora sim. Pega os amiguinhos ali, tá vendo?
Target acquired.
Bem, meu Kinichi não está totalmente blindado, mas estamos no caminho. Vai ser no tapa para deixar de ser besta. Toma. Tá bom. Tamo indo. Acho que foi tudo.
That should be all the braziers. Let's regroup with Trinidad.
O que achou da minha incrível performance?
I knew I was
Triste
right
de se
about
assistir.
you. You have outperformed all of the other previous candidates. If there was an ancient name for outstanding flame bearers, I'm sure the YAB would consider you for the honor.
Mas provavelmente poderia fazer isso. Olha só, você para de me... Eu quero meu nome antigo, hein? Quero que meu nome seja entalhado numa pedra, igual a Mavuika falou. Eu ordeno.
Yeah, although it would probably take Paimon quite a bit longer.
All right, now there's still a few days left until the ceremony, and I should probably get back so I...
Oh, you mean...
Some of them are still hoping we can come to an agreement with Kinichi, but still, I'm the one responsible for securing a...
Just for Paimon's own peace of mind, are you sure it's not gonna be a problem having...
See that place over there? There was a time, long before the age of Burkina and the Mountain King, when we, Scions of the Canopy, called that our home. After a period of upheaval, our ancestors were forced to move away. Now, it has become a place where our youths go to develop courage and kindle a spirit of adventure. If we fail to keep the threat posed by the Mountain King at bay, it might not be long before we have to move again and find a new home.
Oh.
So, to answer your question, I think everyone will agree that
Fair enough. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
I'll need you to drop by my place at some point before the ceremony, if that's all right. There are still a few final details that we need to discuss.
Okay, see you later then.
You have my gratitude.
Ok, tchauzinho.
We've helped out with a lot of other local festivals before, but this one feels a little different. Anyway, let's take a break before heading back to Trinidad's place.
E tá ali o Kinichi nos olhando. Contratar uma forasteira para ir no meu lugar. Ok. Primeira parte concluída. Segunda, no caso, que a primeira já foi curtinha, era só um diálogo com a Hal, basicamente. Olha lá, Kinichi.
Traveler? Paimon?
Nós.
Kinichi! Fancy meeting you here. We've actually been looking for you.
Olá, é um prazer em te rever.
I'll get straight to the point. I hear you accepted a proposal from Elder Trinidad.
Ficou com inveja, eu sei, pode falar.
Oh, the, Turnfire Knight, you mean. You were still his first choice. It's just... Oh, jeez. It's not what it
Meu
looks like,
Deus, calma,
promise.
pai. Mas ele não vai bater na gente por isso.
Chill, it's cool. I only mention it because there's something you should know. And I suspect Elder Trinidad hasn't been completely forthcoming with you. His true intention is to resolve the Mountain King problem once and for all.
Once and for all? You mean this'll be the last Turnfire night ever?
That's right. He wants to use you to send the Mountain King to the Night Kingdom.
Vai matar ele?
To the Night Kingdom? You mean...
Oh.
To his death.
Whoa, are you serious right now? You shouldn't go blurting out accusations like that. It could get you in trouble.
Mas é verdade, Paimon, né? Querendo ou não.
Too blunt? Okay. I'll phrase it more gently. There is potentially a possibility that Elder Trinidad may be hoping that during the course of the ceremony, you kill the Mountain King dead.
But that's ridiculous. He told us the Mountain King is a living symbol of your tribe's glory.
And that glory comes at a price.
Oh, that's right. The Mountain King is a living symbol of our glory, but even this glory comes at a price. Ah, yes, and Nana wasn't the first.
Alguém tem sempre que ser sacrificado para purificar o negócio? Será que é isso? Requer um sacrifício e o sacrifício são as pessoas?
She likely won't be the last to lose her life either.
Still, is killing the Mountain King really the only way? It seems so extreme.
Como ele pretende matar o rei da
The
montanha?
Mountain King is a unique case when it comes to abyssal contamination. It's eaten away at him for so long that it has consumed him entirely. That evil power has both driven him insane and kept him alive over the centuries. So, to look at it one way, once it's completely purged from his body, the Mountain King will finally be able to rest in peace.
Eu posso purificar ele,
In
não?
past ceremonies, we've only purged around half of the abyssal power. This was to strike a balance. To keep him alive, but also keep him asleep.
Trinidad didn't say anything about how much power he wanted us to purge, but he did say there were some more details to go over before the ceremony.
Then it sounds like you'll know for sure soon enough.
If he really asks us to kill the Mountain King, what should we do?
Será que é tarde demais para voltarmos
I know
atrás?
this must come as quite a shock, so I suggest you act like you didn't hear anything for now. But would you have time to visit the chief after your meeting with Elder Trinidad? I'd like to make a deal with you.
What kind of deal?
One that comes at a very reasonable price. I'm sure you have plenty of other questions, but we can talk more later.
Certo, nos vemos lá.
See you soon.
Acordo de Kinichi, teatro 3 aberto. Agora eu fiquei numa dúvida, será que a gente tem tipo esses 3 atos e depois vem a quest lendária? Será? Porque parece que é meio curta. Em relação, né? Querendo ou não. É grande. Não sei, tô em dúvida. Vamos descobrir em breve.
Ah, mighty Outlanders, you have returned. Did you have a good rest?
Aham.
Pretty good, yeah.
Pai, meu, você tem que ficar de bico fechado toda vez que a gente vai mentir, porque você é péssima. Horrível.
Glad to hear it. Things are progressing very smoothly on my end. Many of the elders have heard of your heroic deeds, including there are still those who insist that the ceremony should be performed by the bearer of the Malipo name. But they're just stuck in the past. We need to move with the times.
Plus, Kinichi doesn't want to do it anyway.
Exactly. So, now, it's time for us to discuss the finer details of the ceremony. We covered the fire lighting part of the proceedings yesterday. The next part is the purification of the
Como isso
mountain.
vai funcionar?
It's quite simple. You just need to use the sacred flame. We've done it plenty of times before, and it's always very routine. One point I'd like to stress, though, is that you need to burn away as much of the abyssal energy as you possibly can.
Asleep.
Precisely. In previous years, the flame bearer has often been unable to dispel a sufficient amount of abyssal energy. That's the only reason why we have to perform the ceremony on a regular... But I understand that you have a lot of experience fighting against the abyss, and you seem to wield the sacred with your help. I'm optimistic.
Ok. Entendi. Preciso saber mais de alguma coisa?
So this doesn't faze you at all, huh? You clearly have a lot of confidence in yourself.
Tem
That's
mesmo.
all you really need to know? The ceremony's in 3 days. I'll come and fetch you when we're ready. In the meantime, feel free to take a look around our settlement. It would mean, and if you wouldn't mind helping them out with a few errands here and there, that would be even better.
So now we have extra errands to run? Maybe we should add a little extra to the prod.
Just a humble suggestion, that's all. It will help you gain the respect of our people, and as a mighty hero, I truly believe that's what you... I'll be sticking around for the next few days, so if you have any questions, you know where to find me.
Tá.
Seems like Kinichi was right. We should go meet up with him right away.
Bora. Esse é o chefe. Ele é o chefe da tribo? Eu não sabia que ele era o chefe da tribo. Esse é o chefe da tribo, moço? Caramba.
Huh, you're here.
Kinichi, Elder Trinidad said that...
Ou ele é um ancião, ele não é o
I
chefe.
can tell. It's written on your faces.
Is that the traveler in Paimon? Forgive me for not being there to welcome you on your arrival. That should have been my duty as chief.
Mas você... Ele é o chefe. É, ele é o chefe, ué. Mas a gente já conhece ele.
Hello, Chief Waina.
I only heard the news from Trinidad yesterday, so I asked Kinichi to invite you over for a quick chat.
É nosso prazer.
I believe Kinichi has already filled you in, so I'll get straight to the point. Firstly, I fully endorse your appointment as flame bearers for the upcoming Turnfire Night. However, I would like to request that you take steps to ensure the Mountain King's safety. Every child of our tribe grows up hearing the tales of our heroes. From Yupanqui the Firebringer, to Burkina and the Mountain King who fought against the Abyss. This is our history and our heritage, the source of our pride. To kill the Mountain King would be to destroy our spirit. I would never be able to face our ancestors in the Night Kingdom. Nana's death was a great tragedy, and I do not blame Trinidad for the actions he has taken. Nevertheless, I cannot allow any harm to come to the mountain. My honored guests, please give this matter your serious consideration.
Não há uma solução que satisfaça ambos os lados?
Perhaps there is, but despite all our attempts to contain the situation over the years, we've not found it. Right now, I should like to hear where you stand on this matter.
Paimon, vamos fugir para outra tribo essa noite.
Running away won't solve anything. You just need some time to think this through, that's all. Don't worry. We'll come up with something if we put our heads together.
Thank you both. There are still 3 days left before the ceremony. I hope they will bring you clarity.
So, Kinichi, earlier...
Let's walk and talk. I'll show you around.
That works too. Paimon needs to get some air after this. Kinichi, Paimon finally understands why you turned Trinidad down. You knew what he was planning, didn't you? That's why you didn't want to be the flame bearer this time, because it's a double-edged sword. The whole Mora thing was just a sneaky
Não, ele realmente
excuse.
trabalha desse jeito, Paimon. Mas ele também não queria fazer isso.
Double-edged sword is right. But my response wasn't merely an excuse. To solve this exceptional problem, an exceptional price must be paid.
Você tá me dizendo que tem um plano
I'm
B?
working on it.
Really? Well, come on.
In a moment. Didn't you have a question you were about?
Oh, yeah. What was it again? Oh, right. We need to talk about how. He's completely unhinged.
Onde ele está
I
hoje?
agree that he has a problem. He needs disciplining, so I hired him a teacher.
You got him a teacher? Oh, Paimon would love to see him get scolded. Anyway, moving on. When we ran into a how, he said you two were investigating some abyss thing together. Is that related to the whole Mountain King situation?
Yes, that's the angle I've been working on. I'm a Saurian hunter, but I occasionally hunt the abyss too. One time I was pursuing some purple demonic dogs when I accidentally entered a hidden space. I did some research after the fact. Apparently they're known as beastly rifts, and there are many of them of all different sizes. That's where those purple dogs... So, if we can locate one of these beastly rifts, clear the monsters out, and move the Mountain King inside, he'd be able to continue living. But without...
Whoa, that sounds kinda crazy. Would it really work?
It's not without its risks, of course. There's a lot of unknowns in the equation. For instance, for all we know, a prolonged period inside the rift could make the Mountain King's condition... Still, we desperately need something like this, even just as a temporary measure. You've seen the conflict the issue is causing in our tribe for yourselves, and believe me, it's been a long time coming. The chief is adamant about keeping the Mountain King alive, whatever happens.
Paimon can understand. It's less about the Mountain King and more about preserving your culture and heritage.
Yes, but on the flip side, you've got people like Elder Trinidad, who is more concerned about protecting the people he cares about now and into the future, and he has every right to take that view. It's one thing to try and preserve the last remnants of a glorious past, but making your kin pay the price for it? No one can seriously tell them.
You're right. There's no easy answers here. Let's leave that to one side for a moment. Because at least in our experience, the dogs open the rifts when they want to attack us, not the other way around.
I think I know a way.
Você vai mesmo fazer isso?
You have any better ideas?
Not at the moment, but it just feels like using the power of the Abyss for our own ends isn't gonna end well. After all, the Abyss is what turned the Mountain King into a monster in the first.
If it doesn't end well, then that's the price we pay. Everything in the world comes at a price. Even when Yupanqui, the Firebringer, stole the Turnfire, it cost him dearly. The Mountain King's erratic outbursts have brought tensions within the tribe to a boiling point. Unless this gets resolved...
All right. So what's this deal you wanted to make with us? We're hardly experts.
All I need you to do is keep people away from me. I'm getting harassed on a daily basis by people trying to convince me to be the flame bearer. I can't afford to waste all my energy dealing with them. If you help me out, there'll be a gift for you in return.
Ok.
Ooh, what kind of...
Something well worth your while, I'd say.
Certo, mas como vamos manter as pessoas afastadas?
Just keep doing what you've been doing. Integrate yourself with the tribespeople, so everyone comes to terms with the fact that we have a new flame bearer. That way, I won't have an endless stream of people coming to beg me to join the ceremony. Then, when the day of the ceremony comes...
Still sounds pretty crazy. Even for a daredevil like you, that's dangerous. And even if it works, what if neither Chief Wyna nor Elder Trinidad are happy with it? Have you thought about what you'd...
At least the two of them would finally be on the same side of the issue, leaving only me on the opposing side. The tribe needs leaders like them far more than a Saurian hunter for hire like me.
De qualquer forma, parece que você não vai ganhar amor alguma.
Can I take that to mean that we have a deal?
Podemos
For
tentar.
sure. And who knows? Maybe we'll come up with an even better solution to all of this in the next couple of days.
Great. Well, for the next couple of days, please spend some time among the tribe and lend a hand wherever you can. Good luck to us both.
Ok, obrigado. Boa sorte pra você também.
Okay, task for the day. Meet the tribes people and take some heat off.
Olá.
Hoonie, how can you call the Mountain King a monster?
Because he hurt a lot of people. And look what happened to Nana.
But it wasn't on purpose. The Mountain King is sick, that's all. He's been hurt by the Abyss.
That's true. But the fact remains that he's now a threat to all of us.
How can you be so harsh to someone who's sick? If you don't take back what you just said, I don't know if we can carry on being
Que
friends.
isso, gente?
Toba, Hoonie, what...
Hoonie's saying nasty things about the Mountain King. It's not right. He's our hero.
Once upon a time, maybe. But not anymore.
Oi, gente, não vamos brincar. Vocês não são melhores amigos?
Yesterday, maybe, but not anymore.
Toba? Fine. I guess my dad is right. Things change, and you just have to accept it and move forward. As of today, our friendship is over. There's no going back.
E...
Oh, come on, cut it out, you two. We have some great news to tell you. The Traveler is gonna be the flame bearer for the next Turnfire night. She's gonna do a beautiful...
What? Really?
Claro, essas coisas são comigo
So
mesmo.
that's what my dad wanted to talk to you about? To be fair, from what we saw the other day, you are pretty good at climbing cliffs. Probably just as good as Kinichi.
Wait, speaking of Kinichi, where even is that guy?
Oh yeah, good question. Is he not coming to the ceremony anymore?
É...
We can get him to come, but if he catches you two fighting again, he won't be happy. He'll be sure to give you both a piece of his mind.
No, we can't let that happen. I've never even spoken to him before. I can't afford to make such a bad first impression.
I didn't mean to argue with Toba. All he said was that the Mountain King has done some pretty bad things. He was the one who turned it into a fight.
Claramente vocês se importam um com o outro. O rei da montanha não pode mudar isso.
Yeah, if you weren't friends, there's no way Toba would have come to look for the baby Saurians with you. All right. Well, because it's the Traveler and Paimon and Kinichi, I'm sorry, Toba. I'm sorry for all the mean things I said about the mountain. Dad just really misses Nana. And I was really upset that she's gone, too.
Huh? Oh. I shouldn't have spoken to you the way I did either. It wasn't very nice of me. For the Traveler and Paimon, Kinichi, and for Nana. I'm sorry too, Huni.
That's more like it. Now you're best friends again. Guess so. Toba, if I ever say something mean about the Mountain King in the future, I'll make sure I say it to someone else, and not you. But I better go buy some colored cloth for my dad now. He needs it for Turnfire night. Let's play again. See you, Toba. See you, Traveler and Paimon.
Tchauzinho, gente.
Okay. I'll head home as well then. See you next time.
Okay, take care, you two. Even though they said they're sorry, it looks like their friendship isn't as strong as it was before.
Os tempos estão mesmo mudando.
Let's just hope we can solve this once and for all. Come on, let's move on. Huh? What's going on over there?
O que tá rolando aqui? Dancinha? Estão dançando, olha. Aquele carinha até desincronizado.
A rehearsal for the Turnfire Night dance.
Ooh, there's a dance involved? Kinda wants...
You don't know it? Ah, I guess you're not from these parts, huh? It's rare to see a new face around the tribe these days. I thought everyone would be keeping away.
Why do you say that?
Because of the Turnfire Night, of course. The Mountain King could wake up at any time. That's why we're holding an emergency ceremony. This isn't one of those fun and games festivals. For outsiders, it might even be a little dangerous.
Well, did you know that the Flame Bearer this time is actually gonna be an outsider?
Oh, I did hear about that. It's a first for sure. I would have loved to meet them in person.
Agora você conheceu.
What? Oh, it's you? Man, oh man. Well, this is a nice surprise. It's funny. I was just thinking that I'll probably miss out on meeting the new Flame Bearer since I'm not taking part this time around. Then suddenly, there you are.
You're not taking part in the Turnfire Night? How come? You're not an outsider too, are you?
You must be joking. Watch this.
Olha aí. Que lindo.
Not bad, right? Yeah, I'm considered one of the better looking guys who dances beneath the pillars of the sacred flame. Been doing it a few years. Always gets the ladies out to watch.
Oh, very impressive. So why'd you quit?
Well, I feel like the whole Mountain King situation is getting more and more precarious. It's just not safe here anymore. One of our elders' Saurian companions even lost her life not long ago. The question is, what are we gonna do about this in the long term? But our leaders don't have any answers for us. They're probably too... The way things are going, it's only a matter of time before it gets violent. So I figured, you know what?
You look a little
Disappointed? Nah. It's a great opportunity to go see the world. As every male scion of the canopy knows, wherever you are and wherever you go, the only way is forwards. We take pride in that. I won't forget my
Qual é o seu
roots.
plano para o próximo passo?
I managed to get in touch with the Saurian Relics Association. They gave me a simple test. Find a decent quality relic.
What's the Saurian Relics Association?
You've never heard of it? It's a group of amateur history enthusiasts who do research on the ancient Saurian era. They're all about collecting relics and remnants from that age. Speaking of which, the guy who was Flamebearer before you, I've heard that his Saurian buddy comes from that time.
A house?
Pera, quê?
A house, a relic from an ancient Saurian civilization?
Oh, yeah, him. So you know those two already, huh? Then do you know how they met? It was deep inside some mysterious ruin, and they signed a contract there. The association folks say that the kind of contract usually comes with a huge hidden cost.
Really? That sounds ominous.
Who knows? But if it's true, Kinichi can probably handle it. He knows what he's doing with weighing up contracts and costs and stuff. I doubt he'd make a contract that doesn't benefit him.
Se tu parar pra pensar, esse deve ter sido o primeiro contrato que ele fez e não deu certo. E a partir daí ele só fez contratos justos.
Strangely enough,
Pra não se ferrar de
I
novo.
actually happened upon a strange mural a while back. And it looked to me like it was depicting a Saurian and a human involved in some kind of Saurian-era contract.
Oh, does that count as a relic?
You bet it does. I was all ready to go take a picture of it and use that as my entry ticket. But after all the abyssal activity recently, I heard that area's been overrun by monsters. The best laid plans, huh? Or you look like you know your way around a fight. I don't suppose there's any chance you'd be...
If all you need to get is a picture, that should be pretty achievable, right? The Traveler deals with monsters all...
Wait, you're serious?
Come on, it's
Por
no
que
big
não,
deal.
né?
Pyro Archon above.
Meu
You two are
pagamento
hearts
já é
of gold,
outro.
you know that? You're the kind of people who could dive into the Turnfire deep in the bowels of the Night Kingdom, and it wouldn't burn a single hair off your head.
Considerarei isso um elogio.
Of course it is. All right, come with me. I'll show you the way.
Chegamos.
There it is. It's inside these ruins. As you can see, the place is crawling with monsters.
Alrighty then. Stay back and take cover, Tiago.
A gente vai se deparar com Kinichi, quer ver? A gente vai sem querer achar o portão necessário pra poder fazer isso.
The show begins!
Hey, yeah!
Locked up!
Calma aí que eu já puxo meu Sauriano aí.
Teamwork is dream!
Nice and spicy!
I've got him cornered!
Tá difícil. Tamo quase. Sempre na medida do possível.
The show...
Vem cá. Toma piada. Oba.
Target
toma.
acquired!
Foi.
That should be the last of them. It's a good thing Tiago had the sense to stay in his hiding place, or things could have gotten really... Hey, look! That's gotta be it, right? Definitely looks like a mural.
É meio pequeno.
True. Now that you mention it, most ancient murals take up a whole huge wall. This looks more like someone with a paintbrush got bored and started doodling. It does match the story he told us, though. There's a Saurian and a human. So, is that supposed to be what an ancient contract ritual looked like? Whatever. We're not here to decipher it. Just photograph it.
Exato. Fotografar.
That's a wrap. Let's take it back to Tiago.
E você precisa mesmo botar meu ID em todas as fotos? Podia ser o contrário, né? Eu vou ter que cortar um pedaço do vídeo só pra não aparecer meu ID.
You've been robbed? Oh, Ponche. And I thought my luck...
Oh, I put blood, sweat, and tears into that, and now I've got nothing to show for it.
Tiago, is this the picture you were looking for?
Let me take a look. Yep, that's the one. Pyro Archon above, you two are superhumans. Hey, Ponche, come and say hi to these guys. They're gonna be the new flame...
Wait, are you...
Huh? You already know...
I don't think.
My nephew Toba's been telling everyone about you. He says you're crazy strong, super...
Oh, so you're Toba's uncle. Sounds like we managed to make a bit of a name for our...
Toba's not wrong, my friend. These two are honestly some of the nicest, most genuine people I've ever met. Everyone speaks incredibly highly of them. Seriously. If you're comfortable telling them about what happened, I guarantee you they'll sort of...
Really? All I want is to get the fruits of my labor back.
Allow me to explain. Ponche is a well-known scholar within our tribe, author of the widely acclaimed book...
I spent years of my life researching that book.
I visited every On the word Malipo alone, I covered at least 5 different interpretations of the meaning based on accounts from different villages.
It was an unparalleled master.
And now it's all gone. That little goon ambushed me during my morning walk. He snatched all of my belongings, including my entire manuscript.
That book was everything to him. It's like they robbed him of his soul when they took it. Look at him.
Dear honored guests of our clan, I am but a helpless old student. If only for Toba and Tiago's sake, please help me. I beg of you.
Onde você foi roubado?
See what I mean, Ponche? Now you've run into these two, your luck's about to change. Big time.
I don't know if he's still there, but...
Cadê esses ladrões safados?
Hey! You thieving rat! Give me my thing!
What do you want now, you old bum? God, you're a waste of space. Prepare to get shoved butt first into a tree hollow.
Eu te desafio a tentar.
What's this? Brought a little bodyguard with you, huh? All right. Let's see what you've got. What's this?
8 mãos.
Eat dirt, suckers!
Ah, tá achando que jogar lama na nossa cara é o suficiente?
Trying to get away! You good? Let's chase him down!
Vamos seguir ele, ou casualmente.
Stop, please! By all the warriors, heroes, gods, and kings, I can't run
Você não
any
correu
longer.
nem 3 metros.
Please, I don't have your stuff anymore.
Oh yeah? Well, wear it!
I threw it away.
You threw it away?
The old bum's bag didn't have a single mora in it. Just a tatty old book. All that time lying in wait was for nothing. I was so mad.
Is that really the truth?
The same place you found me. Look, I swear on the Pyro Archon it's the truth. May all my worldly possessions be turned to ash by Turnfire if I'm lying.
Tá ligado, ele não tem nada.
That's a pretty... What do we do now? It sounds like he's telling the truth.
Vamos voltar para onde estamos. Vamos voltar para onde estávamos e ver se conseguimos encontrar algo.
Right. Let's hope...
Espero que o Ahau agora ganhe um pouquinho de bons modos.
Although the Turnfire is a heroic symbol in Hoytzatlan, it always comes with the more ominous implication of eventual tragedy. This holds true for all bearers of this ancient name in recorded history. Each one of them died of non-natural causes, as if the specter of the Turnfire was always This appears to suggest the existence of some higher power that is always watching the name-bearer, examining their actions, and eventually demanding payment in return. None can escape this payment, unless, perhaps, they could honestly swear by Turnfire to never make a single mistake in their entire life. Yuponki's Turnfire. What an incredible work on ancient name philology. I can't believe it was just lying there for me to take. Let me see, the author is... Ponche. Nice. A gentleman and a scholar.
Silence, book muncher. The great Kahula will suffer your droning voice no longer.
Do you truly find no joy at all in perusing such rich
Ele
historical
roubou o
records?
livro, que sacanagem.
Joy? What joy is there in this pointless drivel?
Well, it makes a pretty shocking prediction. Every bearer of the ancient name Malipo eventually meets a grisly end. Maybe that's the price you pay
Kinichi tá
for
dois
the
passos
name
da
that
morte, tá
means
ligado?
price?
What? You're saying Kinichi will die a violent death? So I'll finally get to take over his body?
Carai, a Ahau é do mal.
When will that glorious day arrive? The great Kahula How demands to know!
Wow, you are just irredeemable, aren't you? An agent of chaos down to the core. You make us Abyss Order folks look like saints in comparison.
Nem fala, eu botaria vocês todos num pedestal lá em Celeste e nem ia questionar.
silence, maggot! To presume that anyone compares your kind with the great Kahula is sheer vanity. And if that day ever comes, oh, your doom will soon follow.
You don't need to lecture me about doomsday. Here's what I know. Based on countless historical texts, all civilizations will be reduced to rubble by the passage of time. From ancient kingdoms, to heavenly thrones, to worlds beyond.
Ai, que fofo.
But from the ruins of every civilization, the dust will rise and never settle, thus transcending the confine. And you, great Kahula How, are one such speck of dust from a bygone age. I've paid dearly for the chance to observe you up close. Now, let me take a good look at you. We'll see whether any memories of that age still remain inside you.
Yeah.
We're so sorry, Mr. Ponche, but we couldn't find your manuscript anywhere.
Does that mean all of my...
You gotta stay positive, Ponche. You might have lost the book, but the brains behind it are...
The whole reason I worked so hard to get it finished before the Turnfire night is because I hoped that maybe it might help us find a way through these trying times.
Você quer dizer que você resolveu o problema do Rei da Montanha?
Well, not exactly. But I thought my research might at least be a starting point.
Oh, really? So what did you find out in your research?
I think the key to all of this lies in the power of...
Ponche, you know as well as anyone that ancient names don't hold any real power. Symbolic power doesn't count.
You're right, but Malipo may be a special case. Given that it first arose in the era of the first Pyro Archon, it might contain remnants of Shibalanke's power.
Yeah, I remember that story. My grandpa told it to me when I was a little kid. Maybe you're the special case. Most kids stop believing in that stuff by your age.
I'm not talking about childhood superstitions here.
Like what?
Like the fact that the Mountain King is still alive. Everyone attributes that to the power of the Abyss. But there's more to it than that. The key
Então
factor
talvez
is that
fosse
Burkina
contrato da
summoned the
época.
power of Malipo at the cost of his own life. If you don't believe me, then answer me this. How many other creatures can you think of who lived longer, not shorter, after being contaminated by the Abyss?
Faz sentido.
Traveler, different situation but similar idea. Doesn't this remind you of the hilly...
Quietinha, Paimon. Não vamos dar gatilhos em ninguém. Pra isso virar caos, rumor.
So, I came to the conclusion that Malipo must refer to some mysterious ritual involving a tit-for-tat exchange. It began with the first Pyro Archon, fell with the Grand Alliance, then was buried in the Night Kingdom. And now...
Hey. Sorry to interrupt, Ponche, but you seem to be getting a little over it.
I'm sorry. I was originally planning on presenting my findings to Kinichi. I'd hoped he...
Sounds to me like you dreamed up one fanciful theory to support another.
Kinichi, what are you...
I more or less finished what I was doing, so I came to have a quick catch-up.
Kinichi! I'm onto something. I haven't worked out all the details, but...
So Mr. Ponche here has done a lot of research on the history of the Turnfire, and thinks he might have found a way for you to solve the problem.
Será?
I'll be there, Ponche. Let's go.
Pera, ele não vai nem ouvir? Que fofo. Bora bater papo, Kinichi.
Here will do.
Você encontrou uma forma de invocar uma fenda bestial?
Yeah. I'd like your help giving it a trial run tomorrow. If that works...
Sounds like you're not considering...
You heard him. He hasn't worked out the details yet. We need a more practical solution with concrete steps to follow.
Yet? Are you saying you think he might actually be onto something?
I think it's possible, based on something I know about the war 500 years ago.
Porque tudo tá envolvido... Ah, não, tá, deixa quieto. Eu ia questionar,
Burkina
né,
didn't
mas
fall
ok.
to the Abyss. He was killed by the Mountain King in an episode of madness. In his final moments, Burkina made the fateful decision to not fight back, and instead pass his blood and power on to the Mountain King. Maybe he thought the Mountain King was stronger than him, and more valuable to the tribe. Or either way, I can believe the Turnfire was involved. Whether you think his sacrifice triggered it, or his fate was sealed from the moment he took the Malipo name.
How can you drop these truth bombs with such a straight face?
This is what I've gleaned from my many interactions with the Mountain King. His mind is so disordered. It took some time to piece it all together. The story Elder Trinidad told you was the more palatable version of events. The truth is even darker. The Mountain King's mind isn't just disordered. He is suffering and feels great shame. I believe he wants to be put out of his misery.
What? Then what should we do? Should we grant him his wish?
Of course not. We should help him move to a new home.
Então seu objetivo não mudou.
It's the only practical solution. The Mountain King is a hero to my tribe. An object of worship, even. Ending his life would be like desecrating a statue. Still, he's been the cause of multiple disasters, and we can't afford to
Ugh. Practical solutions hurt Paimon's brain. Can we follow our hearts?
Then let's break for... You're here. Very punctual.
Ah, viu? Falei? Ah.
So, the gruesome twosome come crawling back. Here to make amends after the gross irreverence you displayed last time?
No.
Very well. The almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How shall grant you the audience that you seek. Now pucker up and kiss our feet.
Ele tá se achando demais.
Kinichi, didn't you say you found him a teacher? He's just as out of control as ever!
Hey! No one gets to discipline the almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How! No one!
Como você pode suportar esse tipo de comportamento?
Maybe because I've never had a gentle-natured companion like Paimon to compare against.
Oh.
Is that a compliment?
Yeah. I see what I'm missing out on now. And it's a lot.
Kinichi! Ugh! We could drown this measly flying ant in one droplet of spit! How dare you compare her to the almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How!
Realmente, Paimon é 1000 vezes melhor que você, How.
Oh, just wait till I possess your dead body! I will commit heinous atrocities! Tear down your legacy! Destroy your reputation! Wreak havoc on your...
Traveler, Paimon, let's get down to business. Once we've opened the beastly rift, you're welcome to toss a How in there for a couple of days.
With pleasure. You don't need to ask twice.
I got my hands on this device in a tray. It's meant as bait, but it'll also stabilize the abyssal energy. The Rift Towns will tear through space to get to this. Once they're here, we take them out and claim the rift for ourselves.
Como você conseguiu isso?
You'll find out soon enough. First, let's try this out.
Oh.
They'll tear you to pieces given half the chance, so be careful.
Ok, agora eu tô com o Kinichi do jogo mesmo. Eu espero que ele consiga fazer o que tem que fazer, porque sinceramente... A gente confia que ele vai dar um daninho bacana. Ele deu um daninho muito bacana, que isso? Eu quero que meu Kinichi fique assim em jogo. Vai deixar?
Uh-oh. Are there even bigger ones on the way?
E...
You see, Kinichi? I'm a man of my word. In fact, I'd say I under-promised and over-delivered. Nifty little gizmo, isn't it?
Falei que era ele.
I take it this is your true form?
Now that our deal is complete, it's time to start the next phase of our relationship. I made a promise to the great Kahula How, and now I'm here to seize your body for his use. Cliché, I know. The hero's trusted partner sells him out to the abyss in a shocking act of betrayal. Cue bad guy speech and drawn out death sequence.
Huh? Enjou?
Falei que era ele, agora confirmei de vez.
What are you two doing here? Oh, Mr. Kinichi, this is not what we agreed on.
Traveler, this is the gift I got you. I know you're looking for intel on the Abyss Order, so I thought he might be of use to
Oh, já pode casar?
you. But it looks like you've already met.
É, nos conhecemos, já derrotei ele antes.
Yikes. Frosty reception. Gotta say, I kinda pictured this moment going a little differently. Tears of joy welling up in your eyes as you say the words, "It's good to see you again, old friend."
Don't be ridiculous. Sounds like you've been reading too many romance novels.
There we have it. Change is inevitable and nothing lasts forever. What a pity. Well then, time for you to meet the new me. This time, please call me Sanka.
Sanka! Aha! So you're Glasses Guy! You tricked Huni and Toba into telling you a bunch of stories!
Qual é o seu nome real?
What does it matter? A name is a superficial label. It's what's deep down inside that counts. And I've shown you the deepest parts of me.
Você quer dizer a parte masoquista?
That would explain a lot. Why else would you show up here and start acting like a wise guy? You looking for a fight?
I'll pass. I do rather like you, as I've said before. But my one quibble is that you really don't know your own strength.
Então o que você está fazendo aqui?
Of course! You're the one behind all the recent Abyss activity! Let Paimon guess, you've been provoking the Mountain King too!
Haven't I told you before? I'm not part of the inner circle who do our Highness's bidding. My interests are far more low stakes. I spend my time digging for truth in ancient doodads and books. You really think a benchwarmer like—
I investigated him. He's not connected to the recent events. Just happens to be in the— So, I struck a deal with him. He helps me summon a rift. I allow him to do some historical research.
But that's all over. And now Kinichi wants to hand me over to you. Well, I was hoping this would be an opportune moment to whisk away his body. That would have given me some more time to study the great Kahula Ha. But now I've run into you. Just my luck. Or maybe I've incited the wrath of the Turnfire. And this is the price I have to pay. But I don't understand. What did I do wrong?
Você enganou Humidoba.
Wait, does that count? Let me think.
How? You are the worst of the worst! Colluding with the Abyss Order against Kinichi? How could you betray your partner?
There is no betrayal. The almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How is a partner to no one.
Don't worry, I told him to act as bait.
Yes, and you should have picked a bigger fish. The Abyss Order? Ha! What a joke. Not even a match for our lowly servant. I put up with this toad's croaking for days, and it was all for nothing!
It looks like your disciplinary measures have been less than effective, Mr. Enjou.
What did you expect? Behavioral rehab isn't really our thing. Otherwise, we might as well change our name from the Abyss Order to the Abyss Boarding.
The abysmal disorder would suit you better. Kinichi! Dispose of him! He is of no further use to us!
Traveler?
Com prazer. Fique à vontade, a Ordem do Abismo é uma ameaça para todos nós.
Hey now, I may be a lowly clerk, but don't underestimate me.
Ah, cala a boca.
I could never beat you in a straight-up fight, but when it comes to running away, I won't lose to anyone. Do me a favor and remember how fast I disappear. Maybe then you'll show me a little respect next time.
Darn! He got away again! Couldn't you have stopped him?
It's alright. He's not worth our time and energy. Besides, it seems like he's in debt to a lot of people. I'm sure they'll keep him busy.
If you say so. Still, Paimon's kinda surprised that you actually struck a deal with someone from the Abyss Order.
To borrow that guy's words, names are superficial labels. Whether you call it the Abyss Order or anything else, it's a broad generalization at best. Think of it like apples that have fallen from a tree. If you tasted each one, you'd find that they're all at different stages of ripening. Even the unripe fruit blown off its branch before it's fully grown can still be brewed into a fine wine. Everything has its use.
Huh. Well, in that specific sense, maybe Enjou's not such a bad apple. Not rotten to the core, at least.
Of course! Only the almighty dragon
Cala a boca, Raul, eu não aguento mais.
rotten to the core and evil beyond redemption.
Ugh. So what exactly are you anyway? You're definitely the evilest little thing Paimon's ever met.
Don't worry, he can't hurt a fly.
Pois você assinou contrato.
You could say that.
Paimon heard that those kinds of contracts might come with a terrible cost attached. Is that true?
Such as a how watching me like a ravenous vulture?
Vulture? Vulture? We are the Dragon Supreme! Sovereign ruler of the Nation of Flame!
Let's pick this up another time. It's getting kinda late. You should go back and get some rest. Big day ahead. Tomorrow's
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Hearing you lay it out like that is making Paimon a little nervous.
Then it can't hurt to say this one more time. Good luck to us both.
Boa sorte pra nós.
See you tomorrow.
Até. Ok. The Great Kahula is a bitch. Ai, que lindo.
At long last, you're back. I hear you've done much for our people these last few days. Many young people have heard the rumors too. They're all eager to meet our new flame.
Well, they won't have to wait for long. We really hope we can resolve the Mountain King situation quickly and smoothly.
Well, it's nearly time.
Vamos lá. Dica. Vai ser essa mesma. Vamos embora.
Here we are.
Our honored guests have arrived. I have heard much about your fine work over the past few days. I hope you'll allow us to thank—
Don't worry about it.
Gonna.
Getting this huge venue ready must have been a huge task. No need to make extra.
Oh, if it means getting the Mountain King issue resolved, no cost is too great.
A resolution will come in due course. But every great fire starts as a tiny spark.
No one would disagree with you if that were possible, Chief. But it's been far too long since we've seen a real step forward. Look around you. Can't you see how our numbers have dwindled since the last turn fire?
The ceremony was arranged on short notice. Many are away from home and could not make it back.
That may be so, but
Good evening, Traveler in Paimon.
Kinichi! Not a moment too soon.
Chief Wayna, Elder Trinidad, could you give us a minute? I'd like to give the Traveler a few points.
Very well. But make it quick. Let me know when you're done and we will begin the ceremony.
Ok.
Let's step inside. Has anyone gone over the key steps of the ceremony?
Yeah, Elder Trinidad did, but,
What a surprise! The flying ant has an ant-sized brain.
If you don't want your tongue to be burned off by the sacred flame tonight, I suggest you stay quiet. See those sacred flame pillars? Once you've lit the fire, go light each one up in turn. Once that's done, head down into the cave where the Mountain King slumbers, light the braziers along the way, then bring the flame to the final altar.
that sounds simple enough.
The process isn't complicated, but remember, you mustn't turn back at any point. If you miss a pillar, you can't light the next one, then come back to it. You have to keep moving forward, or it's seen as disrespecting our ancestors. If that happens, you won't receive the blessing of the turn fire, and you'll have to start— I made you a diagram that summarizes the steps. Take a look.
Entendi. Oh, ok. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Ah,
So that's our part.
I'll be with you the whole way. You can leave that side of things to me.
Okay. We'll try to remember all that and get it right the first time.
bem,
Ready
podemos
when you
começar?
are. But I think I saw Huni and the others just now. Maybe you should say hi before you start. Just tell the chief when you're ready.
By past fuel and present flame, my brothers and sisters, the time has come to light the fire once again, and let the turn fire night shine bright in Hoytzitlan.
Oh. Só ele batendo palma, gente? Ah, bom. Tá fraco ainda. Se quiserem bater mais.
Go get the sacred flame.
pra bugar agora, jogo. Vai, jogo. Ai, meu Deus. Meu Deus, calma.
Nicely done. Off to a good start.
Porra, um bom começo? Foi triste esse começo.
Great stuff. You're over halfway. Keep it up.
Ok, é simples.
Impressive. Just one more to go.
Tá bom. Me permitir.
Come on, one last push. The final sacred flame pillar is up ahead. Great. All the pillars are alight. Next, it's down into the canyon and head for the Mountain King's cave.
Normalmente tem que falar aqui, né?
Almost there. The cave is just up ahead.
Ok, eu tenho que acender as tochas, hein?
Are you running away?
The abyss presence is growing strong. We should deal with the contamination first.
Legalzinho, né? Como é que ele monta. Não, pera, a pistola é o Ahau. Agora que eu tô percebendo isso, olha. Pistola é o Ahau. Bacana isso. Esqueci de pegar isso. Ah tá, os outros estão aqui embaixo. Ok, não sei porque eu tirei, mas ok.
There's the altar of the sacred flame. Remember, light up the torches around it first.
Points for agility.
Cala a boca, Hal. E aí a gente cola ali.
That's the Mountain King up ahead, right?
That's him. Kangamato, king of the Yumkasaurs from 500 years ago.
A skin dele realmente
He's
mudou.
very powerful.
Paimon can tell. He is huge. Let's tread carefully. We don't want to wake him up.
Deveríamos fingir purificar o rei.
You've made it at last. You did even better than I expected.
Traveler, now comes the final and most important step of the ceremony.
There's no need this time.
Such strong abyssal power. What is that thing? Kinichi, what is the meaning of this?
Is that a beastly rift?
Chief Waina, Elder Trinidad, this is about to get a little dangerous.
What do you think you're doing?
Solving the Mountain King issue.
You mean by having him torn to pieces by...
No, stop! We can't let...
Foolish Locust! Can't you see? We're trying to shove your Locust King into the beastly rift!
But...
I'm sorry, Chief Waina and Elder Trinidad.
Can you promise me that no harm will come?
I can't guarantee it, but I'm fairly confident.
Traveler, this is not what we agreed on. You must cleanse the Mountain King of every last trace of abyssal contamination.
Mudei de ideia, não quero que o rei da montanha morra.
Okay, I see what this is. You've been in cahoots this whole time.
Talvez? Desgraçado!
Ugh, you imbecile! What have you done?
Oh no! The device is
You forced my hand. I had no choice.
Tomara que você seja esmagado.
What?
Você me irritou desde o início.
No! The Mountain King is waking up! He will cause even more
Everyone, out!
O que esse idiota tá fazendo? Ele tá pensando que vai conseguir lutar com o bicho ou...
Well, it seems there's only one way to awaken you all from your willful blindness. More sacrifices must be
sempre um
made.
idiota.
Take me, O Mountain King! Take me as your next sacrifice!
Ai... A gente vai ter que salvar esse burro, né? Oh... Cara, foi realmente de comes? Nem brincando que ele morreu.
Everyone's still outside. We have to keep the Mountain King here. Give me a hand.
Ah, eu tenho que derrotar ele já. Tá bom.
Strike a pose!
Strike and pose.
Everybody stand back!
Oh. Tá bom, ignorante. Calma.
Target acquired. Watch out for the fruits he's spitting out. I can use those against him.
Deixa eu contar uma piada.
Yeah, that's it.
Era o perfeito de cura que eu precisava, Furina.
I got him cornered.
Tamo indo. Cutscene? Cutscene. Olha, o Lumine pelo menos tá com uma arma diferente. Ela não tá mais com aquela arma 3 estrelas que ela sempre usa.
What do we do? We can't open the rift!
Lumine. Você tem que purificar, você consegue, Lumine. Não custa muito.
By past fuel and present flame, life marches ever on.
Oh, Burkina, I must atone.
Não entendi.
Patience. We will answer to the fire for all our deeds. Even if one day I fall behind, never look back. Keep moving forward, as we are now.
Live with your guilt and shame. This is the price to pay.
Heir to the Turnfire, please use my ruined vessel to train the heroes of the future. The will of Kangamato will march ever on, till the abyss is stamped out.
No dia seguinte, as pessoas da tribo dos descendentes das copas. Eu não entendi, o Kinichi então ele fez sua ligação com o nome antigo dele agora? Ou ele já tinha feito? Eu acho que ele já tinha feito, não? Ou ele só se utilizou dessa ligação que ele já tinha pra, tipo, conscientizar o bicho novamente. No compreendo.
Traveler, you've come at just the right time. I have some good news for you. Trinidad's condition is stabilized. He suffered burns on much of his body.
Guess that's the best news we could hope for. Paimon has to ask, is everyone in your tribe such a risk taker?
We're simply not afraid to charge ahead into the unknown.
Kinichi tá bem?
He's fine. Don't worry. He's gone to check on the Mountain King. Something most mysterious has happened. After the incident yesterday, a transparent shell is formed around the Mountain King's body. We don't understand the mechanism behind it, but the shell appears to insulate him against the influence. It is somewhat akin to a scab, in that it stops the abyssal energy within him from bleeding out. Well, we've never seen anything like it. The tribe's most senior elders believe it was caused when he was burned by the sacred flame. I think their theory makes sense. After all, we've never thrown the Mountain King directly into this.
Wow. So it's made a barrier against abyssal energy?
It's practically a miracle from what we've seen of it so far. It means that the Mountain King's level of abyssal energy is now stable. No.
Wow, that's amazing!
Será que foi mesmo o poder da chama sagrada?
I know what you're thinking. The young people in the tribe are already speculating that yesterday's ceremony was a Turnfire night like none other in our history. Because you and Kinichi, you summoned the very flame that appears in our ancient legends. A great transparent ball of fire. And that fire is what saved the mountain.
Whoa! So that was...
I may be the chief of this tribe, but I've only ever known the Turnfire as a concept in our legends. If anyone can answer it, I suspect it would be the bearer of the Malipo name. He is in the Mountain King's cave as we speak.
Ah, so Kinichi then. Why don't we go see how he's doing?
Vamos lá.
Hey, Kinichi!
Hey yourselves.
We were gonna ask you the same question. You scared Paimon half to death when you rushed into the fire.
Sorry, I couldn't just stand and watch the Mountain King get burned alive.
So you thought you'd try and extinguish the sacred flame with Dendro? Or is that an attempt to make the almighty Dragon Lord Kahulahau die of laughter?
The sacred flame only possesses a fraction of the Pyro Archon's power. It's not as if I was fighting the Pyro Archon herself.
Kinichi, when you went into the flames, were you
Intending to what?
To, do the same thing as Burkina?
Sacrifice myself? Of course not. My focus was on keeping the Mountain King alive, not on what it would cost. But now I'm curious. What made you think I was going to...
Well, because everyone's saying the Turnfire is what saved the king, and Ponche's theory was that summoning the Turnfire is a tit-for-tat exchange, right? So, Paimon thought you decided to pay for it with your life.
So you've heard that rumor too. I'm afraid I can't say for sure. What happened yesterday was a first for me too.
Well, even if you don't know, there's probably no one in the world who does.
What I would say is, if that really was the power of the Turnfire, I'd sooner believe that the Mountain King summoned it himself.
The Mountain King? Then, what price did he pay?
The core meaning of price is not atonement or compensation, but what you're willing to give up in order to obtain what you want. It's easy to die for your sins. Much harder to live with the guilt and keep on going. In the end, the Mountain King chose the latter option. For Burkina and for the tribe.
Alright, so...
Health-wise, there's nothing to worry about. He'll enter a fighting stance whenever we set foot in his territory. But his attacks are gentler now and not as crazed as before. Like he said yesterday, he just intends to be a sparring partner for people to practice with.
Você disse em questão de saúde, algo mais está incomodando ele?
Yeah, I tried communicating with him again, but he didn't respond.
We dare say that Locust King has well and truly lost its mind. The lights are on, but nobody is home. Its body remains fighting fit thanks to the perverse power of the Abyss, but time has been less kind to its soul. It was ground to a pulp long ago.
But we saw him come back to his...
That was merely one last burst of brain activity before it croaked. As you humans would say, it went out with a bang.
Oh, come on! Stop such a doomer. Paimon bets the Mountain King has finally let go of the tragedies of the past now, and is focusing on moving forward. That's why he doesn't have time to chat with us. He's too busy thinking about the future.
Well, at least it means my fellow tribespeople can move forward now, too. Thank you for your help, Traveler. I owe you one.
Nah, você já me deu aquele presente.
Yeah, that's right. You caught Enjou for us, remember?
But he ended up being completely useless. It's not a fair trade if you lost out.
Ah, that's on him. It's not your fault he's useless. Besides, we're friends now. You don't know us anything.
Friends? But your friendship is an even more valuable gift. I can't in good conscience accept it for free.
Então nos pague com a sua amizade.
If you need anything in the future, you'll come to me. For you, I'll do anything.
Ah. Feito.
So, in the end, only poor little Huni got the sad ending?
Yeah, everyone's happy except me. First Nana, then my dad. Why does everyone in my family have to
O pai dela realmente morreu.
Huni, it'll be okay.
Ah, não, tá só em
Your
coma.
dad,
Toba, you're my friend, so I shouldn't say this to your face. But it was all the Mountain King's fault. Huh?
Now hold your horses, kiddo. If you promise not to fight... Okay, before you roll your eyes out of your skull, I promise you can trust me. I almost got my eyebrows burned off by the turnfire after last time. That's why I came back, to make it up to you. All right, I'll just get to the point. Do you know what Uncle Sanka loves the most about your people?
What?
Your extreme sports.
Huh?
On my first day here, I got hit by someone falling out of the sky. I believe you call it bungee jumping? It's a dangerous sport, to be sure, but the courage it took to make the jump impressed the heck out of me. So, I introduced myself to the jumper, we made friends, and I even helped treat her
Oh, such a nice...
Of course. Anyway, the good times didn't last, because I got captured by a powerful foe, so we had to part ways for a while. In the hands of the enemy, I was scorned, scolded, and nearly given away as a gift. Oh, it was so humiliating. A horrible experience to look. Why does Uncle Sanka always have to suffer, I thought. So I feel your pain, Huni. I was in the same position. But in the end, I made it through, and I left all of those painful memories in the past. I even managed to reunite with my friend.
Is that it? The moral of the story is to look forward in life, right? Yeah, we've heard that one millions of times. Sorry, Uncle Sanka, but you're not cut out to be a teacher.
Ela não tá errada.
Very smart, Huni, but not quite smart enough. What I'm trying to tell you is that after I reunited with my friend, I found her injuries were all healed, but she really missed her family. So, I thought you might like to see her too. She's right behind you. Turn around and see.
Another trick about not turning back? I'm not falling for that one again. Huh?
Oh! A bichinha tá viva! Ele não é tão ruim. Olhe por este lado. Tá vendo? Nem tudo é sobre coisas ruins. Às vezes, coisas boas nas coisas ruins. Então, acho que eu vou deixando este vídeo por aqui, né? Devo dizer que a quest dele foi bacana, mas não tão boa quanto eu gostaria que fosse, né? Tinha um pouquinho mais de fé que seria talvez algo mais interessante. Foi meio fraca, não vou mentir não. O novo sistema eu diria que é mais, como posso dizer, humanizado. A gente sente pelo menos que faz parte da região e só não tipo topou com o personagem e foi numa missão incrível sobre a história dele, entendeu? É um pouquinho mais naturalizado, você tá realmente se mexendo com o povo e com a tribo deles e realmente você acaba se envolvendo com o personagem nessa brincadeira. É bacaninha. Eu não sei se isso limita, talvez, a possibilidade de a gente ter, sei lá, uma quarta história, assim, uma segunda continuação da história do personagem. Uma parte 2, por exemplo. Não sei se isso aconteceria, porque alguns personagens, como Saindo, por exemplo, tem parte 2. Não são só arcontes que costumam ter 2 partes. Temos um aliado bem bacana nessa história. Tem um perfilzinho dele aqui com as vozes e tal. Eu vou ver, porque eu gosto dos deles, porque geralmente tem assim, cadê? Tem uns que são ele e o Hal discutindo. Eu acho que a gente não tem nenhum outro personagem além do viajante que tenha isso com a Paimon, sabe? Realmente eles fizeram uma coisinha bem bacana de fazer essa paralelo entre o viajante, a Paimon, e o Kinichi e o Hal. Cala a boca, Hal, que saco. Parece a Paimon mesmo, a gente manda ela calar a boca e ela não para. Enfim, a parte dele, como eu disse, eu esperava um pouquinho mais, ela acabou sendo um tanto quanto confusa também. Não deu certo a entender o que aconteceu, mas ao Rei da Montanha, pelo que eu entendi, ele basicamente fez uma troca com essa tal chama, né, a chama sagrada, que ele invocou a chama para fazer essa tal troca, que basicamente ele não continuaria fazendo as pessoas sofrerem, mas em troca ele não morreria e continuaria vivendo com sua vergonha. É meio que o pagamento dele. Então, isso explicaria também por que ele ainda estaria lá pra gente lutar. Não seria tipo só aquelas memórias das linhas de leis. Ele estaria lá pra qualquer um que queira treinar suas técnicas. Ele pode ir, afinal de contas ele não tá mais lutando descontroladamente pra matar. Mas apenas como teste, mas ao mesmo tempo ele não tá lá. Foi essa a quest. Ao pouco que nós entendemos do Kinichi, basicamente foi um contrato que ele fez com a Hal, onde basicamente o Hal emprestaria todo o poder que o Kinichi quisesse enquanto ele estivesse vivo, e no momento que ele morresse, provavelmente o Hal tomaria controle do seu corpo. Perigoso? Depende. Controlar seu corpo é o quê? Ganhar tipo um novo hospedeiro? Tipo, agora eu tenho um corpo pra controlar. Depende, se o Kinichi morrer de idade, né? O que eu acho difícil, porque geralmente os portadores desse nome tendem a morrer por alguma tragédia, não de morte natural. Se o Kinichi morrer de idade, pelo menos o Hal não vai ter um hospedeiro tão poderoso assim pra destruição mundial. Sinceramente, como dragão mesmo, ele consegue ser mais forte. Não sei como é que são os termos disso, não sei o quanto o Hal estaria preso a esse contrato, né? O que limitaria exatamente ele a fazer, se realmente seria algo bacana pro Hal. Mas é coisas que a gente descobre mesmo lendo a história do personagem, já que basicamente a gente não teve muito disso em quest. Ficou meio que jogado ali também, é outra coisa que eu fiquei um pouquinho triste. Enfim, provavelmente pelo que eu entendi, este é o artefato na mão dele, aqui na mão esquerda que ele tem um artefatozinho, que provavelmente diz respeito ao Hal. Justamente ele mexe nesse negócio como se fosse um relógio do Ben-10 para transformar o Hal naquele dragão. O que inclusive me faz pensar que talvez ele tenha outras formas. No trailer da demo dele a gente pode ver tipo um negocinho pra escolher personagem. Ele vai escolhendo personagem até a interrogação ele vira o dragão. Talvez o Hal tenha outras formas, né? Afinal de contas aqui mesmo a gente usa ele pra voar, se pendurar nos lugares. Aqui por exemplo, ó. Aqui ó, a gente tá segurando no Hal. E em outras coisas como pegar aquelas frutinhas vermelhas a gente também transforma o Hal numa arma. Então o Hal com certeza pode meio que ser manipulado como a gente quiser. Em geral o personagem, eu devo dizer, ele é bem bonito, devo dizer. O cabelo dele é uma das coisas que mais me chama a atenção. Às vezes eu fico encantado pelo cabelo. É muito bonito, é muito bem feito os detalhes. A paleta de cor é maravilhosa. A roupa dele também é bacaninha, devo dizer. O casaco é um detalhe bem bacana assim nos personagens aqui de Natlan, que tem um casaco na cintura. Assim como a Kashina também tem, mas o do Kinichi é bem mais detalhado. Em geral, a paleta de cor deles é bonitinho, o design dele e a gameplay estão maravilhosas, eu tô amando jogar com o Kinichi. Esse negocinho da gente basicamente se movimentar como sauriano, só que agora a gente basicamente pode dar dash também, não ficamos só presos a essas coisinhas dele, sabe? É bacana. Então, se você não é inscrito aí no canal, já aproveita, se inscreve e ativa o sininho, deixa um like e um comentário, porque isso ajuda muito. E compartilha com alguém que você tem certeza que vai gostar do nosso conteúdo, sério, já deixa aí nos comentários o que você achou dessa quest. Se vocês ficaram meio meh, assim como eu fiquei, mas não tá ruim, mas também não tá bom. Podia estar melhor. Bem, aproveita e clique em um dos 2 cards que estão aparecendo aqui no canto da tela e vai lá assistir outro vídeo. Temos playlists com todas as séries que nós já fizemos. Inclusive, esse vídeo muito provavelmente está saindo já na beira da 5.1. Então vai lá ver a review do trailer que provavelmente já saiu antes desse. E, bem, eu sou o Pumpkin e até a próxima.